Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam Mckola. I'm outside Goodison Park where Manchester United are beaten 4-0 by Everton in an utterly embarrassing display by the Reds here today. And much like people on the Fancams, the first thing I'm going to say is I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. Now look, I've come here before and seen United lose 3-0. I've come here before and seen United lose. But that is one of the worst performances I've seen from a Manchester United team. We just looked like we weren't asked. We lacked cohesion. We lacked effort. We lacked idea. We lacked a shot on goal. I can't even remember a shot on goal. We didn't create any chances. We just didn't look like we wanted it today. And after the run of results that we've seen from Manchester United, after the defeat midweek against Barcelona, granted, you're expecting to see a reaction from these players. After what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been saying, laying down a challenge to these boys, you expected to see a reaction from these players. And you know what? We didn't see one reaction from any of them. They were all awful today. Someone said on Fancam, everyone's a 1 out of 10. Look, he could be right, because I can't think of one player that covered themselves in glory today. David De Gea, another error for one of the goals. And yes, he made a save or two, but not good enough. David De Gea in form, I think he keeps out that Sigurdsson shot, despite the fact that Nemanja Matic shouldn't have laid back off Sigurdsson and give him the freedom of Goodison Park to get his shot in. David De Gea has not been good enough in recent weeks this season for Manchester United. If you want a contract here, prove that you're worth it. We know deep down you're the best goalkeeper in the world. We know that we want to give you that contract and we want to get you signed up, but your performances don't say that. Your performances don't say that. You look at the defence. I'm tired of talking about Smalling and Jones. I'm tired of talking about them. I'm tired of talking about how awful our defence is. Dalot today, I've been really impressed with Dalot for Manchester United since he's arrived at the club. I've looked at him and I thought, you know what? There could be a player there. But today, he was awful. You need to be better than that, Diogo. On the other side, we had Lindelof out of position. You know, we need fullbacks. We need actual real fullbacks. People can comment and say, oh, he's played there. But yeah, he might have played there before. But far too many times, over the last 6 years, we're playing with players out of position. So whilst we can look at players' performance and managers' tactics and managers' application, all that stuff, we have to have the players. And quite frankly, we've been left far behind in terms of investment and investing cleverly. I've said before, we've spent a lot of money and we should have spent it better. And we should be seeing better from the group of players that we've got, because there's some talented players in there. But also, the investment in certain areas of this team has been lacking. For far too long, we've been trying to get by with a winger in both positions. It makes no sense. Aging wingers at that, it literally makes no sense. Then you go into midfield. Fred, he had effort today. He seemed to want to do something. He seemed to be, you know, in the game, but poor, lacked quality. Poor Pogba, a few fantastic passes in the game. But again, Paul, grab this game by the scruff of the neck. You are an incredible talent. You can do some amazing things. But sometimes we need you to grip this team together. You're in the middle of the park. Everyone must look up to him. He's done the business in the game. Pull it together. Take some responsibility as well. I can see some players like De Gea, Pogba, and those kind of players looking around thinking, oh, this team's not great and, you know, we need better players in these positions, and feeling sorry for themselves. But we can't have that. We need players that are going to grab them together, help improve those players around you. But we're not seeing enough of that. We're not seeing enough of that. Who else was in the midfield today? We had Fred, Pogba, Nemanja Matic. I've already spoken about him in the past. It's his first game return in a while. That could be used as part of an excuse. But today, Nemanja, you laid off Sigurdsson, gave him all the time in the world, and he picked the pocket, took a shot. Sigurdsson, of all people as well, he's pretty decent with the ball at his feet. And he scores, and it's 2-0. After Richarlison's first goal, which was a bicycle kick, which I know some people are saying high foot because Dalot's got his head in there, but I want to see Smalling, Dalot, whoever, stick your head on that, get hurt. None of them did it. None of them did it. Richarlison makes it 1-0. And it came just after a warning as well, where he brought a save from David De Gea. Second half, we saw nothing. No reaction at all from the team. No reaction at all. And things just went from bad to worse. Lucas Digne's goal was absolutely fantastic. But again, poor. We were flat. Pushing out from the back. We were flat. Everything. And then De Gea's rooted to the spot and the goal goes in. It was a fantastic strike. You can look back and say, you know what? Richarlison's goal, Sigurdsson's goal, Digne's goal, fantastic goals. But we could have prevented every single one of them. Walcott wraps it up with a fourth, and it's 4-0. And I really can't believe that we've lost 4-0 here. I could imagine us losing against Everton. Marco Silva's a good coach. They've got some very good players. But I'd never expect to see that kind of result and that kind of gutless performance. Now, we're going to have a lot of comments, a lot of talk. Are these players, I've seen someone suggest the players are tossing it in again for another manager. I don't believe that to be the case. And I don't believe that was the case in the past. I believe Mourinho deserved to get sacked. But what is for sure, these players need to take some responsibility as well for the performances that we are seeing. Because they've apparently got a manager that they like now. And when we look at these performances, and it's like, you could argue, if we had nothing to play for, that it's a typical, the players' heads are on the beach. But we've got shit to play for. Do you want to play in the Champions League next season? Do you? Because we're not going to be playing in the Champions League. I'm done with top four now. We're not beating City or Chelsea. I heard people joking about giving City 3 points so that they win the league and Liverpool don't. We don't have to give them 3 points. They will take those 3 points, and it could be a lot worse than 4-0 if we perform anywhere near to the level that we did here today. It was shocking. Now we've got a big summer ahead. I already said at the time I wasn't sure whether Ole Gunnar Solskjaer announcement came at the right time. Look, he deserves the job for what he did, and I thought, you know, he's doing fantastically well. And given that we've tried everything and nothing's really worked, I could understand the decision to bring him in. But making that decision at that time, I couldn't get. We could have left it to the end of the season, and we didn't. And now, Ole is under pressure already, which is kind of the thing that we were scared of. But I'm not going to be looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here. I'm looking around him. He laid down the challenge to these players, and none of them have risen to it. We've got some big games between now and the end of the season. You could say we're fighting for top four. I don't believe we are. But the points are there to be won, and you never know. And if these players really want to play for Manchester United, then go out there and show it. Ole laid down the challenge to you, and you haven't even taken it on. Do you want to be here? Because if you don't, see you later. If you don't, do one. We need players that are committed to the cause. We also need a board to take responsibility as well, because we have seen countless appointments by this same board, Ed Woodward, and yet we are not seeing any better results. We have chucked a lot of money at things, but none of it has been with a plan. None of it has been to a structure. None of it has been like, apparently we've got the most scouts out of anyone in the Premier League, but it don't look like it. What are those scouts doing? I hear every week scouts, I hear that, like, we need a structure in place. We need, you know, values to be upheld at this club, and we need it to start from the top down. It needs to start with the board and go down. The manager's not going to be successful without a successful board. Our board is commercially successful, but football inside of things awful. They need to take some responsibility for the downfall we have seen since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And then that'll allow the manager to be able to do something in the summer. Because without the foundations, we ain't going to be able to do shit. And we're moving on to, 6 years without a league title? And it could go on 16 years if we continue doing this in the same pattern. You're never going to get it right. You have to change it. And we have to look at important figures at this club, whether they're on the playing staff, management staff, or in the board, taking responsibility for where Manchester United are right now and pulling us out of this mess. Guys, Fancams are coming your way. Thank you to everyone that spoke to us today outside Goodison Park. I know it's difficult when you're disappointed and all that, so I really do appreciate everyone that spoke to us. Make sure you like and comment and share and subscribe and getting your thoughts in on the Everton game in the comments below. I know I was speaking through the players and I kind of went away from the players. I don't want people to accuse me of saying that, look, Martial, awful today. I want to see movement from you. We know you've got the ball, the skill. We just put the ball at your feet. We know you can finish. You're not even trying to get into areas. Your movement needs to improve. Lukaku was toothless today. Toothless today. Not good enough. Not good enough at all, Manchester United today. And who was the other one? Rashford, the form has been awful. We need you boys to turn it around and turn it around fast. So yeah, I know I got sidetracked in between my review. I know I rambled on for a long time, but there's my thoughts. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to Full Time Devils. We're out of here.